Hello everyone to Game Week 2 preview. We are going to talk about predicted lineups, top 5 players picks, top 4 stats and tip, captain choices, and Tay set piece takers. Nathan Ferguson, knee, Gary Cahill, hamstring, James Tompkins, thigh, and Patrick Van Aanholt, shoulder, remain sidelined ahead of the trip to Manchester United, while Connor Wickham, unknown, and Christian Benteke, foot, have only just returned to training, modified training in Wickham's case, after recovering from injuries picked up in 2019-20. Mamadou Sakho, match fitness, also won't be considered for selection despite featuring in the EFL Cup in midweek, but Hiro Riedewald is expected to be back in training on Friday after a minor muscle problem forced his absence in Game Week 1. Riedewald was, according to his manager, in line for a start against Southampton before injury forced him to miss out, with the Dutchman having featured heavily in pre-season. Whether he walks straight back into the team is another question, given that the Eagles won on the opening weekend and that Roy Hodgson has plenty of options to choose from in the middle of the park. There is a possibility that Riedewald could be preferred to youngster Tariq Mitchell at left back, having started one warm-up match in that position, but the rest of the back four looks settled for now given that Sakho has only had 29 minutes of first-team football and a handful of training days in the last 2 months. Hodgson has preferred a 4-4-2 in pre-season and in the opening 2 matches in League and Cup, with Wilfried Zaha paired alongside Jordan Ayew in a 2-man attack last Saturday. There is the possibility that the Palace boss reverts to a 4-3-3 and 4-5-1 for this encounter, given the caliber of opposition, perhaps moving Zaha or Ayew out wide and sacrificing Andreas Townsend or Jeffrey Schlupp for a third central midfielder in the form of Luka Milivojevic or Riedewald. New signings Michy Batshuayi and Eberechies, along with Milivojevic and Max Meyer, were all handed 90-minute runouts in what was effectively a B-team fixture against Bournemouth in the EFL Cup, so may be back among the substitutes at Old Trafford. Adam Forshaw, hip, remains unavailable ahead of the visit of Fulham, but Marcelo Bielsa revealed on Thursday that he expects Liam Cooper to be fit, with the Scotland international having missed out on the opening weekend with a minor calf problem. Given the defensive struggles at Anfield and Cooper's nailed status in the Championship, the centre-half is fully expected to displace stand-in stopper Pascal Struijk for Saturday's clash with the Cottagers, providing fitness isn't still an issue. Changes will likely be at a premium elsewhere, given the all-round positive nature of the display on Merseyside and the fact that Bielsa made 11 alterations to his starting 11 in midweek to allow the likes of Barry Douglas, Özcan Alioski, Jamie Shackleton, Tyler Roberts, and Rodrigo 90-minute runouts in the EFL Cup. The Leeds boss went on to confirm in Thursday's pre-match press conference that Rodrigo was in good condition but wouldn't start against the Cottagers, effectively meaning that Patrick Bamford will again lead the line at Elland Road. 9 of the players in the predicted lineup started in the 3-0 win over Fulham in June, with Roberts and the now-departed Ben White the only exceptions. The half-fit Pablo Hernandez was only a substitute that day, but with a full week to recover from his Game Week 1 exertions, the veteran playmaker is expected to resume his place in an unchanged midfield. You will find all the predicted lineups in Friday night video. Billy Sharp has scored 4 goals in his last 3 league appearances against Villa. Chris Wood can score in a 4th consecutive Premier League match for the first time. Harry Kane has scored 9 goals in his last 9 PL matches against Saints. He has only scored more times in the competition against Leicester City, 15, and Arsenal, 10. Danny Ings has scored in both of his PL appearances for Southampton against Spurs. Only against Norwich has he netted in more consecutive matches, with 3. Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang has been directly involved in 15 goals in his last 16 Premier League London derbies, scoring 12 times and adding 3 assists. Fulham midfielder Tom Kearney's 7 goals or assists against Leeds are more than he has managed against any other league opponent. Everton fixture analysis. Next, West Brom home, Crystal Palace away, Brighton home. The Toffees had the second highest shots at goal, 15, in Game Week 1, and were also joint second for big chances created, 13, of which 9 of those were created by James, £7.5 million, and Tukuri, £5.5 million. Richarlison, £8.0 million, on the other hand had the most at goal, 7, but with only 1 being on target. But all this does show some attacking prowess from the Toffees. The Everton defence also showed some robustness, with Pickford, £5.0 million, and Dine, £6.0 million, both impressing and the latter providing an assist. Their next 3 matches are against teams that are only rated 2 on the FDR system. West Brom had only 1 shot on target, whilst Palace had 3. Best picks: Calvert-Lewin, £7.0 million, Richarlison, £8.0 million, Digne, £6.0 million, James, £7.5 million. Although Palace managed a hard-fought victory in Game Week 1 vs Southampton, there are concerns about Eagles' form on the road since Project Restart after COVID +19 hit. Palace have lost their last 4 away games without scoring a single goal, conceding 11 goals, 2 or more goals conceded per match. To be fair, Palace' disastrous form after Project Restart may be because they were safe in mid-table in the final weeks. Yet they still managed a win in their first 2020-21 PL match. Though the quality of their upcoming opponents Man United is totally different from Saints. The Red Devils have scored 2 or more goals in 5 of their last 6 Premier League home matches and are likely to do the same when Palace pay a visit to Old Trafford in the first match of the season for the hosts. Expecting a big win in this one for Bruno Rashford, Martial and co. Championship winners Leeds have impressed in opening game week of their long-awaited return to the Premier League, having found the back of the net 3 times at Anfield. Leeds appeared well organised last weekend, playing in a typical Bielsa's strategy of building the play from the back and pressing their opponents high. This performance may turn many FPL managers' head to the newly promoted team assets. In fact, Leeds have been a tough team to beat on home soil in last season's championship-winning campaign, having won 7 of their last 8 home matches, scoring an impressive 18 goals and keeping 7 clean sheets, conceding just a single goal, over the same period. As such, returns at both ends of the field could be on horizon for Leeds assets. Budget wing-back, Stuart Dallas $4.5 million, midfielder, Jack Harrison $5.5 million, and Patrick Bamford $5.6 million, who could be a good third forward, are all good options to consider in the budget-friendly bracket. Leicester opened the season with 3-0 victory over the newly promoted West Brom at the Hawthorns thanks to a debut goal from Timothy Castan and 2 spot kicks from last season Golden Boot winner Jamie Vardy. In the final weeks of last season after Project Restart, Foxes have suffered on home soils in front of goals, having failed to score in 3 of their last 6. Although they were already battling for a Champions League qualifying spot. Last weekend result may be tricky as 2 late spot kicks in the final 20 minutes from Vardy have killed the game off. As not each time they will face a sloppy defence like the Baggies. Up next for Leicester is one of the league best defences, Burnley. Though as a Vardy owner I'll hold on him at least for now. Tottenham form is recently one of the main concerns in every FPL forum, as Spurs lost at home against Everton for the first time in 8 years. Not just the final score, but also the poor display for most of Tottenham's players, which may be considered one of their worst displays under Mourinho. This may be a shocking news for owners of Spurs assets, keeping in mind that both Son and Doherty have entered Game Week 1 with more than 31% and 24% ownership respectively. Spurs' form on the road wasn't great in the final weeks of last season, 2 losses, 3 draws, 1 win, in last 6 road trips. Up next for Spurs is a trip to South Coast for a match against Southampton. I believe swapping Spurs assets with both Manchester clubs' assets would be a wise move. Ollie Watkins, Aston Villa, £6 million. With Wesley still injured and Samatta underperforming, Aston Villa's record signing should go straight into the starting lineup and get enough playing time to cement his place as starting forward. Last campaign, with Brentford in the Championship, he has found the net 25 times and played 3 assists in 46 games. In pre-season, he has already started to emulate that goal-scoring form, with goals coming in the EFL Cup and against Manchester United in the last friendly. Opponents Sheffield United have been struggling a lot away from home in recent games, conceding an average of 2 goals per match. Stuart Dallas, Leeds, £4.5 million. Despite a shaky start at the back for Leeds against Liverpool in the first game week, he has still managed to deliver his first assist of the season. Compared to teammate Luke Ayling, Dallas created 3 more big chances, 11-8, and scored 5 goals, with some coming from an advanced position as a midfielder rather than a fullback. Leeds has kept 7 clean sheets in their last 8 home league matches, one of them was against Fulham, in a 3-0 win. Opponents Fulham looked hopeless against Arsenal, conceding 3 goals and not so promising in attack, boosting the appeal of Dallas to get returns at both ends of the pitch. Anthony Martial, Manchester United, £9 million. Reclassified as a forward this campaign, Martial finished the last one with 17 goals and 9 assists to his name and should be capable of reproducing similar numbers. Although he played no pre-season games for United, he made himself noticed thanks to his international form with France, through both scoring and assisting. Compared to teammates Bruno Fernandes and Marcus Rashford, Martial is usually the best option every time United plays at home, with 9 shots in the box, Rashford 6, Bruno 1, 4 big chances, Rashford 4, Bruno 2, and 3 big chances created, Rashford 3, Bruno 1, all post-restart. Opponents Crystal Palace conceded 4 shots, 2 big chances and 2 key passes to Southampton's strikers alone in the opening game week. Gabriel, Arsenal, £5 million. Another player who shined in his first ever Premier League game, the defender kept a clean sheet and scored a header from a corner with his only shot. Arsenal conceded just 1 shot inside the box against Fulham, highlighting more strength in defence compared to previous years, if they continue producing such numbers. Opponents West Ham created 0 big chances against Newcastle last game week, so an Arsenal clean sheet may be on the horizon. James Rodriguez, Everton, £7.5 million. Despite the lack of competitive football last season, he is a favourite of manager Carlo Ancelotti and should be Everton's most creative force this season with secure playing time. Historically, in his only season with Ancelotti as manager back to 2014-15, he scored 13 goals and delivered 13 assists in only 29 games, at a rate of 1.6 shots and 3.1 chances created every full game. Best reflecting his career statistics, he hit the ground running and created 5 major chances in his first ever league game, away to Tottenham, as well as attempting 3 shots. His appeal will now be boosted by an easier schedule, including this gameweek's reception of West Brom that conceded 3 goals in their season opener. Martial. He scored 17 and assisted 7, his highest since he joined in 15/16. United will be looking to start the season better against the Eagles, after losing to them at home last season 1-2. United have won 8 out of the last 10 played with 1 draw, 1 loss. Martial have met them 6 times managing 1 goal and 2 assists. A lot of things changed since he faced them, one good reason is Bruno. Expect goals involvement. Recommended, 9. The Pharaoh is back with a bang. He scored a hat-trick in that thriller of a game vs the Peacocks. He faced the Blues 11 times, scoring 5 and assisting 2. The Reds have won 4 of the last 5 games in all competitions. With Kepa in goal and this man on the field, there will be goals. Recommended, 8. Auba is back in this trio pick. He had a good game vs the Cottagers, except the first half when he played as a left wing back, scoring the last goal. He scored 22 goals twice in his last 2 seasons, claiming the Golden Boot in 18-19 season. He faced the Hammers 4 times, scoring 1 and assisting 2. The Gunners won 7 games out of 10 played in all competitions, winning the last 5 at the Emirates. Goals will be scored in this game. Recommended, 7. This week's bonus is every EPL team set piece takers. Enjoy. In the end, I will leave you with Match Week 2 score predictions from our admins teams. Good luck everyone.